This is the 2002 winner of the Jane Addams Award called Martin's Big Words by Doreen Rappaport. It follows the life story of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. from a young boy with the white-only signs in a segregated South to being inspired by the big words he heard as a child in church while his father preached and he read in the Bible. He followed in his father's footsteps, becoming a preacher himself. And through the teachings of Gandhi, he learned that nonviolence movement was the way to solve problems of the world. He felt that hate cannot drive out hate. Only love can do that. He was inspired to make change, especially after the incident with Rosa Parks, which led to the Montgomery, Alabama bus boycott. It lasted for over 381 days. Eventually, Martin went on to travel across the country, especially the South, marching and giving peaceful protests for any situation where people felt oppressed. He knew that his movement was bigger than himself. Even when acts of violence were perpetrated against him and his family, he still sought for nonviolent solutions. It also takes us to the famous March on Washington, where he delivered his I Have a Dream speech. And later on, after 10 years of marching and protests, they voted to end segregation and those white-only signs came down. It also takes us to his assassination on April 1968, but talks about how his words live on. The author, Doreen Rappaport, was actually a young teacher who went to the March on Washington and was inspired by Dr. Martin Luther King's speech. She moved down south to Mississippi in 1965 and taught at the Freedom Schools. Now, these schools educated African American students, but they also encouraged them to be socially active in their communities. She felt, when she had described being in the South as seeing the fragility of being Black in a white America. And Dr. King's message and teachings inspired her throughout her career and eventually inspired her to write the story, Martin's Big Words.